It is 4:35 a.m. and we are all required to still report on meditation this morning. It's been an eventful yesterday. Yeah, I'm recording this the following morning again. DG came to our camp yesterday, and so that fucked up our program a lot, especially the program of the evening. But I think it was worth it. However, we are all paying for it this morning because nothing has changed, even though a lot of things changed last night. Well, I'm going to try to sign my OBS attendance, take a break from this and sign my OBS attendance. I have 10 minutes to go and sign that, so I'm going to take a break from this recording also, a very quick, brief moment. But before that time reaches, let me explain the things that happened prior to the DG coming. So I'll tell you about the DG after I've signed my attendance at the OBS. My Said Solar class yesterday, was quite interesting. We were divided into groups, and then we were required to make some connections to bring light come as we were using the panel, the solar panel. And it was 3 groups, even though I didn't participate in my group because I'm not an elect, and I'm still trying to get an understanding of the thing. We kind of seemed to bond something, me and my group, so we didn't turn on the lights. These soldiers have started with their whistle. We didn't even turn on the lights. We failed in doing that. I kind of bond something. But we learned the lesson. He came and he corrected everything, and then it was a lot better later. So that was that. And then I feel like I feel drawn. I feel driven, very driven a lot of the time. In fact, I feel like I'm a driven person. The thing is, some things that are like meant for a lot of the coppers, they're not really touching. They're not really shaking me because it's like I know the exact thing I feel like I want to follow, or the thing I feel like I want to do immediately after. So if it doesn't match what I'm checking right now, I guess what I'm trying to say is everybody comes. All these people that NYSCeries has collaborated with, they keep coming here to try and tell us, okay, you can write a business plan, you can learn digital courses, you can take courses, and then we can give you loans, things like that. You know, they still say for people who want to like go into entrepreneurship and things like that. And for me, none of these things are really freaking me. None of these things are really touching me yet because I feel it's media I want to do. It's why I'm in the OBS and I'm still trying to even do stuff in my platoon, but why being very active in the OBS, because if it's not media, then if it's courses, if the courses that I have interest in to skill up what I already do and know, I will do those ones. And if somebody comes and advertise something like that, I will understand. But taking my time, these extra things are going to actually take my time, and I don't want anything that's going to take time from me. I want something that's going to further improve what I already do without kind of feel like I'm wasting my own time. So that's the thing. So for every other core member, I feel like they can take advantage of some of these things, and it's quite an interesting initiative for people who don't know what to do next after this phase of life, or even what to do next while they leave after they leave camp. But I feel like I have my own thing totally not planned out, but mapped out, in the sense that I know exactly what I want out of the entire year itself. I'm going to go and look for a way to sign my attendance because it's already 4:39. By 4:45 I'd be late, so I'm going to sign that now, resume, and tell you how the DG came and how it went. Alright, welcome back. Asha Odimo team always playing, and it always does every morning. Perhaps if it has played in the background in my morning recordings before. Now, the DG. Funny time to be telling this story when everybody's trying to get somewhere. So we all assembled in the hall. It was hot. We had skipped dinner because around 6 is the dinner time. 6:30, 6-ish. But immediately after parade, no sports, no dinner. Everybody had to assemble at the hall. And we waited for like an hour or 30 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that, for him to show up. And when he did, we did the regular thing that we do when we have guests. They play, we clap for them. They do some pleasantries. Comes with his entourage. They introduce the entourage, and we clap them and all of that. And then I'm going to fast forward to his speech. because all his accolades were read. In fact, there was somebody special to come and read his accolades. And then after that, we had this expectation that it would be rigid, but it was not that at all. I think anybody who has had the DG visit their camp understands that this is youth corpus. This is youth, right? And they understand our own perspective on life and our appeal on things and the things that appeal to us, and so they really lean into that even when they're doing their lectures and all of that, to try and get our attention, to try and be relatable. And so he was more of that than anything else, making relatable examples. Occasionally he will stop and make a music request just to match a point, like he'll go play Lonely at the Top by Asake, OBS will play it and everybody will dance and vibe, and then we'll stop and then he'll continue his lecture. So it was quite interesting. However, I thought he was just going to make a brief speech, but I realized you don't travel a long journey to make a brief speech. So whatever we were doing last night ended at about 9:00. So it wasn't even anything close to being a brief speech. But like I told you, the man was playful. He came in and one of the first things he said after we finished healing him was, "Oh, yeah." And shit. Plus, he's still very young looking, man. Fresh, to be fair. I thought the pictures were like, how they edit the skin of politicians now. But he looked quite well kept. God. And the girls were shouting. All of us know that they were attracted to him because being a military man and being quite playful, while obviously having a capacity for violence, is something that I'm sure they find attractive. However, apart from that, there was something that happened, right? He called out a female corps member, called her by name, like he had her name down already, and I gave her a commendation, because she was the first corps member to report to this camp, which was interesting stuff. I came here around 11 on a Tuesday, and I was 120 something, so the girl was number one, and he appreciated her, and then took her phone and took a selfie with her, like with 2 hands. I'll find snaps of the day and put on a WhatsApp channel, for that event. I put on a WhatsApp channel. I'm pretty sure there are people who recorded some of these things. And then something very interesting that happened again. And I said, now that we've commended our first corps member to come in, now we are going to punish some people. And then he began to call some names and state code and platoons, like, in Ananabache they promised platoons, not my name obviously, but he called a bunch of people, like 2 people from my platoon. And then calling all those people out, what are these people? Are they offenders? Because obviously in this camp, people have been caught having sex. There's been two females that were caught having sex with one soldier. There's been 2 sets of corps members having sex with each other. So we thought, okay, since we never heard about this, perhaps this is the time where they're going to tell us and expel those people from camp in our presence, at least those who have not run away and taken exit. And then, I was standing under this solar light. I just illuminated my entire body. Let me shift away from this. Anyway, so he called all these people to the stage, and some of them were missing, some of them had taken exit and all of that. And then when he called all of them and they were all complete, and the ones who were around, they were all there, he now said, he took the mic to the first person and said, "So, where did you sleep last night?" Everybody shouted, "Are you with him?" And I said, okay, the people, we didn't call these people out because it's their birthday. And then we sang happy birthday for them. He brought a cake for them, he brought a cake for them. So it was really fun, to have that twist. Really creative as well, to be able to remember those people's birthday. It was thoughtful. And then they got a cake and it was all nice, honestly. And then, Oshun guy. I wrote in my notes Oshun guy, but I don't know what the Oshun guy is. Took a picture with the celebrants as well. And then, trying to remember what else happened. You know what? If you listen up until this point, I'm going to try to put in the voice. I'm going to put voice notes in the WhatsApp channel of what I remember. But honestly, I've already said the one that I think was the highlight. And then, before we left, like I told you, we missed dinner. Session that I was supposed to hold, which was like that Team Tall and Big Bold and Beautiful in contest that I was supposed to be in. Didn't hold at all today either because of, or last night because of the DJ's presence. So all of that was skipped. And then after like 9:30, we began to do the closing remarks, which was to take pictures with everybody, with all the different heads of service. Oh yeah, he gave gifts to to all the different heads of service. He gave 2 cows to our camp, and then after that, we took pictures, with quarter guard, with band, with OBS, which I went to go and take a picture with him. After that picture, that was when I left the hall, to be honest. And then I'm sure he took pictures with the soldiers outside and every other, man and the other people out, staff. So after that, when he was taking those pictures, the entire camp was free. That was the time if anybody wanted to do anything they should have done, because everybody was outside trying to, all the staff were assembled, trying to take a picture, get a picture with the DG. And then they said they extended lights out to 11 p.m. That's what they did. And I told him, man, look, we guys crash early, because all this thing are doing, tomorrow they will not forgive anybody. DG will not be here tomorrow for them to say, okay, let's extend something for you. They'll wake us up when they're supposed to wake us up. And that was exactly what happened. This morning, a lot of people were saying, they were extending to 6. Nibo, we're actually here right now. So that's that from yesterday, eventful yesterday. So today we still expect to have our normal day. Syed will come, and lectures will hold. And I might get to do that contest finally. So keep this space alive. Let me hear from you in the comments. Did you visit your camp when you were serving? And how was it like? How was that DG like? See you guys later.